Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. And welcome to a brand new zodiac sign and a brand new Decan. This is hashtag Decan Walk 2023. And I'm excited because we are out of Cancer and now into Leo. I was a little bit apprehensive just because we started out in Aries, which is a fire sign, and I literally felt like that scene in oh my gosh, I want to say Tomb Raider, but it's not Tomb Raider. Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world kind of deal, and they all blow up and everybody just instantly ashes. That's how Aries felt for me. I was not prepared for the energy that came in through Aries. And I was just like, what? And then we moved into Leo yesterday, the 22nd. And I actually need to get I actually have it handy this time. My little book I've been using. My little planner with all my little notes in it. And my little Decan wheel. I literally just Googled Decan wheel and pulled the first thing I found up and offline. Which was this. And it shows all the Decans we started out in, where is it? Aries, red. Then we went to Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and now we're in Leo. And it started July 22nd, 2023, and it ends August 1st. And this is the 5 of Wands is this card. And then we'll get into that more here in a minute. Now, I haven't been getting into the Oracle cards. I was hoping that when I started this whole decanic journey I'm on, that I would be getting into more of the astrology cards that I have. I just haven't. And now I can't even find the Radiant Sun Oracle deck. I was looking for it earlier and I can't find it. So it's weird. I'll have to find it. Hopefully for the next Decan I'll have it and be more prepared with that. But I've been so invested in the cards or the tarot corresponding cards themselves that I really haven't had time to expand that thought process to Oracle cards, even if they are astrology related. But what I was going to show you guys is we have the 5 of Wands is the representative of this current Decan Leo 1. And here's the Leo symbol here. And then we got the fire sign here. And this is the upright, meaning disagreement, competition, strife, tension, and conflict. And for the cards that correspond with these are the majors. So we have Leo, which is representative of the strength card, which is, I always think of Leo the lion, so it makes sense. And here again, we have the Leo symbol here, which is here. And so right now it is, I think it said Saturn. Oh my gosh. Going back, I'm looking at my book and my notes. My bad. It is Saturn in Leo. So we have the card that represents Saturn, the World card. So these are the 3 cards for this Decan. And as always, I wanted to show you guys my Journey of the Sacred Bee because it's more thought-based. This is the backs. This is the 5 of Wands, which the keyword on it is strife. And you see here we have Leo and Saturn. So it's Saturn and Leo, 5 of Wands. And then we have the World card here, which is the Saturn element right there, image. Beautiful card, isn't it? And then we have the Strength card, which has Leo here. So just show you guys what those look like in this deck, because I love it. And I've been using this deck the whole time, so we're not stopping now. And then I wanted to tell you, okay, since I've started my tarot journey, the 5 of Wands has, and I've said it many times, is my forever stalker card. It is the card that no matter what I do, where I go, what deck I'm using, it's there. It's always coming out. And I'm like, why? So twice now, And I'm going to show you a couple different decks here that have, this is the Light Seers, my Five of Wands. And then this is the Superlunaris Five of Wands. Okay, so when I first saw this Five of Wands, and I first realized, man, this card is like stalking me. It was in this deck, the Light Seers. And I first saw it as a competition. Because everybody else is like, oh, it's just infighting and blah, 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 blah. And I've even heard people talk about it as a political fight. And I'm like, that doesn't feel right. It doesn't sound right to me. And then later, and I was just thought of it as competition, though, not a fight, a competition. And like they're competing to see who gets up here first. Who wins the prize, right? And as time went on, I looked at this card one day. I just happened to pull a bunch of cards, and I pulled the Five of Wands, and I'm like, oh my God, this isn't competition with others. It's competition with self. So if you look here, it almost appears as if they're all wearing the same clothes, same outfit. It looks like, well, different shirts here. But it almost feels like these are 5 different aspects of myself that are in competition with each other, all trying to become the winner, the top dog. And I'm like, why? And I literally heard a voice say, why not work together? And I'm like, why not work together? That's ridiculous. Why would 5 different aspects of self be fighting? But I also get this in the Superlunaris as well. It almost looks like the same person. They're all wearing the same clothes. They all got the same ones. It's almost like you're bumping up against yourself. And it really sent me on a deep dive with the Five of Wands a long time ago. And then today happened. So I'm currently reading the 36 Secrets by T. Susan Chang. And I'm just going to read you a little bit of here what I read. Because I read the whole chapter. I always read the chapter before I get on here. Okay. The beginning part is cool. It says, with the Five of Wands, we enter the realm of Leo. In tarot terms, the strength or lust card. Here is the search for the limelight, the quest for fame and glory, the hunger for one's moment in the sun. But there is no victor without a tournament first. You can almost sense the blood pounding, the adrenaline racing. It's audition time. Reach for the beta blockers. Let the games begin. You can think of the Five of Wands as a pressure cooker, and the reason is not complicated. You take the crushing weight of Saturn and the radiant steady heat of Leo, and the result is a kind of cosmic instant pot. Temper simmer, brow sweat, opposing points of view contend. Yet this is the contention of sport or debate rather than outright battle. There is a goal other than destruction. And I love that because in Aries, it literally felt like I was going to burn alive. I literally felt like, it's the Terminator. Terminator 1, I'm pretty sure, where they have a vision of the playground and it immediately wipes everybody out. That's the energy I felt in Aries. I was suffocating in Aries and I'm like, what is happening? And I felt this energy just so overwhelmingly. And now I was scared with this one starting, but I feel it is a much calmer heat, a much more competitive vibe. It's a time to get your butt moving and get out of the stagnation and get going. And I feel like Saturn, I don't know why, but it kind of irked me here with it says the crushing weight of Saturn. I don't feel like Saturn, I mean, scientifically, yes, it makes sense. But I feel like with it being the World card here, there's a sense of calm that is underlying that strength, that fire in the strength card in the sign of Leo itself. There's an underlying calm, cool water river, maybe rushing underneath the ground, underneath the fire that's blazing on the surface. And so it tempers it a little, which is weird because with the Five of Wands being my Forever Stalker card, it almost is like opposing dualities here. To me, this is all my opinion and how I see this card. But that's what I've been getting since yesterday when it started. I actually started getting it Friday. This energy moving in of this calmer. You can feel the heat. You can feel the pressure of you need to get something done. But there's this calmness to it as well. And so that's what I've been feeling. But that's not the surprising thing. The surprising thing I just read, we'll go skip over here. It does, I did want to read you this. There's some information here about Zeus, and Kronos being his father. And I'm like, I did not know that. And I'm about to do a, Greek mythology study with Amethyst Ascensions group. And I highlighted that in different color just so I could go back and look at it later. Cause Zeus is our first god that we're looking at. So that was interesting. But it says here, we see something similar in all stories in the 5, 6, 7 sequence. There is, dare we call it, a fixation on the 6, the central balance point or anchor, and always the central decan of a fixed sign. I won't go through them all here, but we saw a perfect example back in Taurus for the 5, 6, and 7 of Pentacles sequence. There are 6 represented the perfect moment when the blessings of the land took root. It was bracketed by worry in the 5 and failure in the 7. Worry looked ahead asking, how can we prevent disaster? Failure looked behind asking, what did we do wrong? The 6 of Pentacles received its fortune from the moon. The 6 of Wands looks to the sun, its ruler, for public recognition. So I found that interesting that they pulled in the 5, 6, 7 again. And they're kind of right. We got this, the 5 is the competition to get to the 6, that, parade that he's seeking, which is very, very interesting. And then we come to the last of it. This is where I had my aha. So, it says the everyday 5 of Wands. Here's my favorite 5 of Wands story. In 1998, I was in cooking school for a while. One morning, I drew the 5 of Wands before setting out on the subway and promptly forgot about it, as it was my habit in those days. It happened to be the day of my pastry exam, and I was nervous about it. Somewhere around mid-morning, I looked up, and there we were. 5 students in chef whites around a metal table, pounding away at our puff pastry dough and straight baking dowels, each as long as a broom handle. I burst out laughing. That was the first time I experienced tarot in its most literal, but it would certainly not be the last. In more recent years, I've drawn the 5 of Wands in all kinds of high pressure situations. It's shown up on days of sweltering heat and days spent in the din and uproar of fencing tournaments attended by my son. It shows up on active outdoorsy days for throwing a frisbee, for skinning my knee. I've had it for cars dying, combustion engine trouble, pouring hot oil into a glass jar which immediately shattered, making sous vide fried chicken, vacuum plus heat, struggling with the kids, proposing new projects. I got it the day I learned about the fire at the Hermit's Lamp, a store beloved by tarot readers. Like all Wands miners, it seems to love counting people showing up on days I spent time with 4 other friends or family members. But in the aggregate, looking back, I mainly see myself in many attitudes of endeavor. I see that sometimes I succeed and sometimes I fail. But at least, always, I tried the best I could at the time. And that has been the message I've been getting for the last couple of weeks, is because I'm a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist, I'm a person that if I know it's not going to come out perfect, I'm not going to risk it. And I've been getting this message here lately. I haven't been to a writers group or an open mic night or anything for writers since 2020 hit. Everybody shut down and nobody reopened. All of a sudden I was scrounging through Facebook the other day and I came across somebody that I knew in the writing world, in my community, and they were doing just a meetup. And I'm like, what? And it turns out they've been doing meetups for quite a while and I didn't know. And so I put myself out there and I went to it and I did all these things and I've said all these things. And I'm like, okay, now I've got to get to writing and get to doing this. And even the people that showed up were like, well, you can't do anything if you're not going to write. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's easier said than done. But it just kind of blew me away there, that part of it. And then it says the takeaway. When you draw the Five of Wands, you might be under lots of pressure. You might be suffering from performance anxiety. Remember that perfection is not the point. The point is literally to strive, to discover what inner excellence hides inside of you. This gift may not only come out under the duress of a deadline, a public appearance, or in competition. Do your best, and when the period of stress comes to an end, accept whatever recognition comes. If no external validation is to be had, stand on your own damn podium and give yourself your own medal. Give yourself credit for what you have learned, for the rigors of the 5 are completed and justified by the 6. And I love that. I was like, oh my gosh. So, but here this just strikes me so hard with this, being the aggregate. Looking back, I mainly see myself in many attitudes of endeavor. I see that sometimes I succeed and sometimes I fail, but at least always I tried my best. And that's the Virgo in me that's always trying for that perfectionist. But the 5 of Wands, and I again saw it in a different light this time. It was like, I almost feel like this is the negative side of it. Like, you're in this competition again with self that you have no reason to be in competition with. Just take a breath. Stop striving for perfect, because you may not ever get it. And and it's kind of like what I feel like when people say, oh, I can't buy my first tarot deck. I have to have somebody else buy it for me. If that were the case, I would never own a tarot deck, ever, because there's no one in my life that would buy me a tarot deck. And I just find that kind of similar here, where you're in this competition with yourself, and that was just eye-opening. So anyway, that is my Decan Leo Decan 1. I will do the thing she posts, the tarot spread she did, either later tonight or tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night. Bye.